Joining us tonight on NewsNation to discuss the ongoing investigation into the RV explosion in Nashville is Phil Andrew. He is the principal and founder of Pax Group LLC and was an FBI special agent from 1997 to 2018. Mr. Andrew, thank you for being here again tonight.
Glad to be with you.
So let's talk about this new development. Federal investigators say they've identified a possible person of interest. They've now searched a home in suburban Nashville. This is pretty quick developments coming about 24 hours later. We know a lot of people have called in tips. So you've been involved in similar investigations. What do you think authorities are doing right now? What are they looking for at this point in the investigation to move it along?
They are carefully combing over that crime scene and looking for every little piece of evidence. Just like when the Oklahoma bombing took place many years ago, the agents combed out and fanned out to find microscopic evidence. And in that case, they were able to find an axle of a U-Haul truck and then associate that with the rental and then find the subject. So in this case, they're going to be doing the exact same thing. They're going to be carefully combing over that area and lifting every piece of evidence. They do seem to have a person of interest and are at that house now, and they're going to be combing over that similarly, pulling up perhaps DNA, evidence that might suggest that somebody was involved in bomb making, but we don't know at this point what they're finding there or what the association is with this investigation.
Yeah, they obviously have to keep a lot of details close to the vest at this point in the investigation, but you mentioned the evidence at the scene. How important is what's left of the RV and maybe whether that was a clue that enabled investigators to track this person down? Also, there was DNA evidence, a human tissue found at the scene. How important do you think this evidence was in developing a lead so quickly the very next day?
Yeah, that's going to be critical in terms of making any kind of connection between this potential human tissue and what happened with the RV. You know, was this person associated with the RV? Were they a bystander? And what can we glean from perhaps the DNA that'll associate with additional leads for this investigation? This is still very much a investigation underway, and we really have to be patient and allow them to do their careful work.
Definitely. We definitely want to allow them to do their work. A lot of people are looking at motive because of the circumstances. There are so many theories floating around the timing of where this was, the location, that it was outside the AT&T building. What do you make of this and the possible motive involved?
Well, I think that the motive has to be considered. You know, if the AT&T building and its relationship with critical infrastructure is part of the motive, it's going to help establish perhaps why this person did it, and they're going to be able to make some connections. They'll also have to be able to work back. If there was some sort of conflict or disagreement that involved someone in that area, someone living nearby, a potential business, or AT&T itself, those are all things that investigators are going to be looking at from the other side as well.
So just based on your experience, and I hate to make you speculate about anything, so whatever you feel comfortable talking about, but does this look like terrorism to you? And if so, what do you think the message was that this person was trying to send?
Well, I think that first, I'm not sure if this is domestic terrorism or international terrorism because we just don't know enough about it. But I think anytime that a bomb is involved and that it seems to be targeting innocent people and public property in this way, that we have to assume that there was a motive to make some sort of statement to draw attention to some issue or some grievance. So I think that we are going to find some nexus to somebody making a statement here. In terms of additional motive, my investigative experience tells me that these are full of twists and turns, and that any assumption that we start with is just a logical way of addressing the investigation, but that investigators need to keep an open mind to not get tunnel vision and focus on one lead over another until that's been fully verified through either careful analysis of the evidence or interviews and interrogations that come as a result of the investigation.
That's a good point. So yesterday we knew very little about what happened. People were pretty shocked that this happened on Christmas Day. Now we have a little bit more information. What do you make of a possible profile of the suspect, given what we know at this point today?
Well, it's really only based on the facts that we have so far, is that whoever did this or whatever persons did this, they obviously had access to an RV. They had done some careful planning around putting bomb-making material, powerful bomb-making material into that RV. They'd also thought through that they didn't want to affect a lot of casualties, that they had built in some system here to announce and give fair warning to first responders. So that all goes into the profile that this is somebody trying to say something. We're just not sure what it is they're saying until this investigation gets farther.
Mr. Andrew, we thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.